Welcome to the PurePerformance Café. May I take your order?
Yes, I would like a shot of Pure Performance, please.
Coming right up.
Welcome to another episode of Pure Performance Café, and again in Linz, but now it's actually dark outside. I recorded 2 sessions earlier with Bernd Facker from the test automation team. Now I am with Martin, the Glatzkopf, as I call him, Etmajer. Yeah. So he's a bold guy, but very, handsome, as they would say. I think so.
Thank you, Andy.
Yeah. I'm not trying to hit on you because I think my girlfriend will have a problem with that.
I will tell her.
Yeah. So Martin, we just did a performance clinic on monitoring OpenShift with Dynatrace. You've been spearheading our OpenShift partnership, our certification program with RedHat. And so could you give me a 1-minute explainer? What is OpenShift all about? Why is RedHat deploying OpenShift? What do they provide? And then we get over to why customers use Dynatrace maybe on OpenShift.
Sure.
Yeah.
So OpenShift is RedHat's next generation platform for running containers and building and deploying containers at scale. So basically, in the essence, OpenShift is based on Docker and Kubernetes, and it's Red Hat's mission to make Kubernetes and containers available in a convenient way to enterprise customers. That is what OpenShift is about. So you can say it's Kubernetes with a layer of lots of user experience and convenience on top.
Enterprise sprinkles on top of it,
yes,
making it nicer. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And they provide it in different deployment models, I believe?
Yeah, that's right. So basically they have the open source project called OpenShift Origin, which is available on GitHub and which is based on a variety of open source products like Docker, Kubernetes, and many others. And derived from that project, they create cherry-pick releases like OpenShift Container Platform, which used to be called OpenShift Enterprise, which is a commercial offering by OpenShift that you can deploy on any infrastructure, whether it's your own, in your own data center, or it's a public or private cloud that you own. On the other hand, they also RedHat provides OpenShift Dedicated and OpenShift Online, which are managed cloud services which are managed by Red Hat. The way in which they differ is that OpenShift Dedicated is a single tenant service, which means you as a customer will own the entire cluster. They will set it up for you in a certain EC2 region that you favor. And OpenShift Online, on the other hand, is a multi-tenant cloud service, which you will share in the end with a variety of other users.
Cool. And I think this actually perfectly aligns with our offering from the Dynatrace perspective, right?
It is, because we support all of these platforms. We have Dynatrace One Agent for PaaS, which is a perfect fit for those platforms where you cannot use one agent on the host, which would typically be the case on OpenShift Online and Dedicated because they're not beyond your control. On the other hand, if you use the OpenShift Container Platform and you run it on-prem, you can either use Dynatrace SaaS, Dynatrace Managed, or Atmon.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So we actually have a perfect fit for, and I guess that's also why Red Hat said, we are a preferred partner of them.
Yes, I mean, they love us because we have the best products in the market.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So which problems do we solve? I mean, why would somebody say, I need Dynatrace for OpenShift?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I really... and it's not just my opinion, it's what I hear from Red Hat, is what they say is that we are a perfect combination because they created OpenShift for running containers at scale, meaning massive microservice applications. We, on the other hand, created our Dynatrace platform for monitoring exactly these platforms. And we've identified OpenShift as one of the key strategic platforms to integrate with. We really believe that in the next month and years to come, OpenShift will be one of the big players in the market, and so are we. So that also makes us a perfect fit.
Yeah, and I think in your webinar today, you showed the, as you said, a very large-scale microservice application with hundreds or even thousands, I believe, of processes and services, and obviously Docker containers coming and going, rolling updates, scaling up and down depending on load, and this needs a different approach of monitoring and alerting.
Definitely. Yeah. It's just not true that microservices are simple. If you look up microservice how-tos in the introduction, they talk about the pros and about the values that they can provide, but they don't talk about the dark side so much, right? So when you look at real-life microservice environments, they can look really ugly. They look good on paper, but they can look really ugly in production. So what really matters is even if you use a platform like OpenShift or Cloud Foundry maybe, that you, even if you don't care where the containers will end up in the end, on which corner of your cluster, you still don't want to fly blind, right? You want to know how is your infrastructure affecting the performance of your application, but not just the applications, but also the services which make up your application and the processes underneath. Because in the performance clinic, I was focusing more on the technical aspects of running microservices, monitoring OpenShift, but in the end, what really matters is how's your business running, right? I mean, so also UEM is a big important part, because in the end it's about the users. Of your
UEM is user experience monitoring.
Yes,
so
yes, exactly.
Yeah, cool. So Martin, if people want to learn more about this, what's the best place to learn more about it?
So I would suggest please visit the landing page. You can Google OpenShift monitoring. You will find us on Google page number 1. Then follow our landing page to Dynatrace.com. Please check out the free trial, and you will also find links to other resources like an OpenShift Commons briefing that we recently ran with RedHat, and that is part of our partnership program, where we, by the way, have access to product management teams, development teams, to really create the best possible integration in the market in the application monitoring space.
Cool. And actually now I need to one more topic, because you also had it in the very end of your slides. It's great that we can monitor large scale applications in production, but if developers or development organizations start to deploy more and more and faster using CI/CD DevOps, then we don't want to be faster in fixing problems in production, but we want to actually get better in deploying better software.
Exactly. So there is a news coming up, which you're basically one of the first to know. We are just about to port our great lifecycle story that you all know about from Appmon to work on the OpenShift platform, which will in the end allow you to assess the value and quality of your application before you push it into production and before it may harm your users.
Cool. So that means if I'm a developer and I hit the commit button, pushing a code committed to Git, and then Jenkins kicks off the build, executing tests, deploying stuff to OpenShift, executing integration tests, unit, whatever, we basically say no go. No, it's
exactly.
right.
That's what you can do.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Welcome, Andy.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.